Okay, we're going to do some practice for multiplication and division today for our, in addition to subtraction for our CBA. So we're going to start with number one. It says Acme Lumber Company purchased 13,145 pounds of pine wood and 16,903 pounds of cedar wood to sell in their new store. After 6 months, Acme Lumber Company had sold 7,589 pounds of wood. About how many pounds of wood does Acme Company have left to sell? Okay, well, we have to find out what they really want. And they want to know how many pounds of wood, right, do they have left to sell? Okay, so I know, let me change my pen color so I know that they've purchased 13,145 pounds of pine wood and 16,903 pounds of cedar wood. After 6 months, they sold 7,589 pounds of wood. How many pounds of wood does the company have left? So we have to take what they purchased, which is 13,145 pounds of pine wood, plus 16,903 pounds of cedar wood. So we have to take and we have to add all that up together. Okay, but then there's a key word. Okay, and the key word is about how many pounds of wood do they have left. So that's telling me that I need to estimate. So we're going to estimate each one of these. I would estimate the first one, 13,145 pounds, to be 13,000. Okay, I would estimate 16,903 to be 17,000. And then we add them together, which makes the addition a little bit easier. 7 plus 3 is 10, and that's 30,000 pounds of lumber. But then it says that they sold 7,589 pounds. So I'm going to estimate that to be 8,000. So now I'm going to subtract 8,000 pounds. So they purchased 30,000 and then they sold 8,000, and that's after I've rounded it. So now I just have to subtract 0, 0, 0. If I have 0 right here, I can't take 8 away from it. Okay, I would get a negative number, and we don't do negatives in 5th grade. So we're going to borrow from the 3, and it becomes a 2. And this 0 is going to become 10. So I took 10 from 3 and moved it over to the 0. So 10 minus 8 is 2. Bring down the 2. So 22,000 pounds of lumber is left. Okay, so I had to see what the question asked. I had to find out what I knew, which was the amount of lumber that they purchased, and then I had to find out what they wanted was to tell us how much was sold, was 7,589, and then that word about tells me I'm going to round, or estimate, actually. Okay, kind of the same. Number 2, there are 365 days in a year and 24 hours in a day. How many hours are there in 3 years? That's a 2-part question. Okay, I'm not going to go over this one because this is actually on the test, and I didn't realize they didn't know that when they made this test for us. 365 days in a year, and each one of those 365 days has 24 hours. And then they want to know how many hours is in 3 years. All right, number 3. Matt and Mary sold chocolate bars for a charity fundraiser. Matt sold 598 boxes of chocolates, where each box contained 25 chocolate bars. Mary sold 535 boxes of chocolates, where each box contained 19 chocolate bars. What's the best estimate of the number of chocolate bars Matt and Mary sold altogether? So the key word in this one is best estimate. So in other words, we're going to be estimating again. So I know that Matt sold 598 boxes, and each box had 25. So Matt, each one of his boxes had 25 chocolate bars. And he sold 598, which is about 600. Right? Okay. Mary sold 535 boxes of chocolates, and each contained 19 chocolate bars. So Mary had 19 in each box, and she sold 535, which is approximately 500. Okay, so now we estimated the number of boxes, but now we have to look at and we have to estimate the number of bars that are inside each box. So I would estimate 25 to be 30 and 19 to be 20. So each of Matt's box, we're going to say, had about 30 bars, and he sold 600 boxes. Mary had about 20 in each box, and she sold about 500 boxes. So 30 times 600 and 20 times 500. And then you're going to take and you're going to add those together to find the number of they sold all together. So in actuality, I'm actually going to be multiplying 3 times 6, which is 18, and then adding 1, 2, 3 zeros. Okay, and then for Mary, it's 2 times 5, which is 10, and 1, 2, 3 zeros. Okay, and then I'm going to add those zeros up, because that is a 0. Okay, and then 8 plus 0 is 8, and 1 plus 1 is 2. So they sold about 28,000 chocolate bars combined. So those are a couple of the questions for for estimating. So remember, estimation is going to say things like about, or it's going to just come out and say best estimate. And they're wanting you to estimate your answer. Okay, the next one of the largest hotels downtown has 23 floors and accommodates 150 people on each floor. If the hotel is completely full 3 nights this week, how many people will the hotel accommodate during those 3 days? So they're wanting to know how many people can stay at the hotel. So we're going to do our little UPS thing on this one. We'll put how many, that's what they want to know, right? So I know there's 23 floors, 150 on each, okay? And they want to know 3 nights, right? So I'm going to take one of the largest hotels has 23 floors and accommodates 150 on each floor. So you're going to take 23 times 150. Okay, this is my solve. So we're going to take 150 times 23. Okay, so remember when we do 150 times 3 first, so that means 3 times 0, which is 0. 3 times 5, which is 15. So I have to carry my 1, bring down the 5. 3 times 1, which is 3, plus that 1 gives it a 4. Then we tick, tack, O, because now we're going to be multiplying by the number that is in the tens place right here. So now we're multiplying 150 times 20. So that's why we bring this 0 down as our placeholder, basically. But it's because we're multiplying in the tens place. So 150 times 2. 2 times 0 is 0. 2 times 5 is 10. Carry my 1. Bring down the 0. 2 times 1 is 2. Plus this 1 that we carried is 3. And then we're going to add it up together. 0, 5, 4, 3. So 23 floors, 150 people on each floor. So that means in one night, there's 3,450 people. But they want to know how many people that is for 3 nights. So now we're going to take that and we're going to multiply it by 3. 3,450 times 3. So I'm going to start with 3 times 0, which is 0. 3 times 5, that's 15. So I'm going to carry my 1 above the 4. Bring down my 5. 3 times 4 is 12. Plus this 1 makes it 13. And then 3 times 3 is 9. Plus this 1 makes it 10. 10,350 people. So let's check. I multiplied 23 floors times 150 people on each floor. Got my total. Took my total and I multiplied the total by the number of days they want to know will be filled. How many people will be in 3 days? So we multiplied by 3. So 10,350 people. All right, number 5. A gardener has 785 bricks to build a path in a garden. There will be 24 bricks in each row of the path. How many complete rows can the gardener make using 785 bricks? Okay, so we have to think, what are they asking us? So we want to know how many rows, right? And I know that there's 785 bricks. I know there was 24 in each. Okay, so there's the question. There's the understanding. Okay. Then we want to know what the problem is. So I know there's 785 bricks total. Okay, he has 785 bricks to build the path. So I'm going to take 785 and divide it by 24, because 785 divided by 24 takes that total and it puts it into 24 bricks in each row. So over here is where we would solve. Okay. All right, so I'm going to delete this so I can solve it and I can show you how to do it. I'm going to do it 2 ways. So 785 divided by 24. Okay, so one thing I've said with the classes is that when you are dividing, do a tic-tac-toe board. Okay, we're dividing by 24, so that means we're looking for 24 times a number. So we're going to make a tic-tac-toe board for 24. We don't know our factors for 24. We don't know the multiples of 24. Okay, so we're going to take the easy way to just break it down for us. So we're going to just add 24 plus 24. 4 plus 4 is 8. 2 plus 2 is 4. So that means 24 times 2 is 48. Now I'm going to add another 24. 8 plus 4 is 12. 4 plus 1 is 5. 5 plus 2 is 7. So that means 24 times 3 is 72. 72 plus 24. 4 plus 2 is 6. 7 plus 2 is 9. That means 24 times 4 is 96. Okay? So I'm going to take that information that I just got and I'm going to plug it into the division problem. Okay? So I'm looking at the number 24. Can 24 times the number equal 7? There's no 7 by itself on this chart. So, because 24 is bigger than 7. So I'm going to underline 78. Can 24 times a number equal 78? Well, if I'm looking at this tic-tac-toe board, the closest I can get to 78 without going over is 72, which is times 3. 24 times 3 is 72. So I'm going to put a 3 above the 8. 3 times 24 is 72. And now we subtract. If you have 8 and take 2 away, you have 6. If you have 7 and you take 7, you have nothing left. So you can put a 0 there or you can leave it blank. That's up to you. But now 24 can't go into 6, but I have this 5 right here. I have to bring this 5 down next to the 6. So now I'm looking for how many times can 24 go into 65. So I'm going to look at my tic-tac-toe board. And I'm going to say the closest I can get to 65 without going over is 48. Which is 2. 2 times 24 is 48. So we're going to subtract. If I have 5 and I take 8 away, it's going to give me a negative number. I can't do that right now. So I have to borrow from the 6. The 6 becomes a 5. And this 5 right here actually becomes 15. So 15 minus 8 is 7. And 5 minus 4 is 1. So that gives me, I don't have any other numbers under the dividend. I don't have any other numbers in here to bring down inside the division bar. Okay, so that means I have a remainder of 17. And it said, a gardener has 785 bricks to build a path in the garden. There will be 24 bricks in each row. How many complete rows can the gardener make? Well, I have 32 complete rows with 17 left over. So my answer would be 32. Okay, because I have 32 complete. The remainder is what's left over. So let me show you, I'm not going to, hold on, let me erase just this work. Because I want to show you another way to do this division. But I'm going to keep my tic-tac-toe board because I want you to see the math, okay, and how the tic-tac-toe board can work either way. All right. So another way would be to put it in the block. So I'm dividing by 24. I have 785, which is 3 digits, so I need 3 boxes. I'm going to put the 7, the 8, and the 5, each in their own little box. So first thing I'm going to look, 24 can't go into 7. So I'm going to X out that 7, and I'm going to push it to the 8. 78. 24 can go into the box where 78 is 3 times, which is 72. And then you subtract. That gives you 6. Now I'm going to take this 6 and I'm going to push it into the next box. 24 can go into 65 2 times, which is 48. And then you subtract just like we did. 6 becomes 5, 5 becomes 15, and then left over is 7, bring down the 1, left over is 17. So it's a same concept, I'm just taking it and I'm putting it into different pieces. Okay? Okay. All right. A company bought 22 computers that cost $399 each. What was the cost of these computers? We want to know cost. I know that they bought 22. I know that they were $399 each. Okay, I don't have a total here. They didn't say the total cost of the computers was $1,000 or anything. Okay, it said they bought 22 and each cost $99, which means I'm going to be multiplying 399 and 22. So down here in your box, you would work out 399 times 22. So I'm going to come up here. I'm going to do this one. I'm going to do area model. Oops, hold on, let me fix that. Okay, I'm going to do the area model so you can see it. For those of you that like to do the area model instead. So 300, so that's 399. Because 3 is in the hundreds place, 300. The first 9 is in the tens place, so that's 90. And the last one is in the ones place, 9. 22, same thing. There's 2 in the tens place, so that's 20. And then the 2 in the ones place, 2. Okay, so this top column, top row, every box is going to be multiplied by 20. So I'm going to put 20 times. Okay, this bottom row, everything's going to be multiplied by 2. 2 times, 2 times, 2 times. Now, each box is going to be multiplied by the number that is directly above it. So, when I look at this box, it's 20 times 300. This box is 20 times 90, and this box is 20 times 9. Now, down on the bottom, this bottom box is 2 times 300. This middle bottom box is 2 times 90. And the box at the far right at the bottom is 2 times 9. So when I'm doing it like this, I am basically multiplying by single digit numbers each time and adding zeros because we're multiplying base 10. So 2 times 3 is 6. And then there's 1, 2, 3 zeros. 2 times 9 is 18, and there's 1, 2 zeros. 2 times 9 is 18, add 1 0. Okay, then I'm going to go to the bottom box. 2 times 3 is 6, and there's 2 zeros. 2 times 9 is 18. With 1 0. 2 times 9 is 18. So now all you have left to do is add up the numbers that are in blue. Okay? So the only thing you have to be careful here is you have to make sure you keep everything lined up. So 6,000, 1,800, 180, 600, 180 again, and then 18. So all the way down, these are zeros. 8, 0, 0. So 8, 0, 8. 8 plus 8 is 16. Plus 1 is 17. Carry my 1. 1 plus 8 is 9. Plus 1 is 10. 10 plus 6 is 16. Plus 1 is 17. Carry my 1. 1 plus 6 is 7. Plus 1 is 8. So, kind of hard to see that one. So, 8,778. Okay, so it's a lot of work, but it's worth it. If you can solve it better that way, then that's the best way right now, and we will work on the algorithm. So to check, it says the cost is $8,778. So is that a reasonable answer for 22 computers that each cost $399. If you want to check to see if you're close, you can estimate 399 computers to be 400 and 22 computers to be 20. 4 times 2 is 8 with 3 zeros. So 8,000 is an approximation of 8,778. So yes, that means this would be our correct answer. Okay, this right here is just letting us know that we're in the right ballpark. Okay. Okay, let's look at number 9. Darcy is going to make raspberry jam for the county fair. Her recipe calls for exactly 55 raspberries per jar. If Darcy has 1,700 raspberries, how many raspberries will she have left over after making the jam? Okay, so let's think. They want to know the leftover. Okay, so I know that her recipe calls for 55 per jar. She has 1,700 raspberries. So let's think about that. Look at your answer choices and tell me what you would. Okay, sorry. Okay, so 55 raspberries per jar. She has 1,700 total raspberries. So how many raspberries will she have left over after making the jam? So we're looking for the leftovers is what we're looking for, right? So if you're given a total and you're wanting to know how many jars you're going to make or how many is going to be left, you're going to do division, right? So this is going to be 1,700 divided by 55. All right, so we're going to make a tic-tac-toe board for 55 before we start anything. So I know 55 times 1 is 55. So now let's fill in our board. 55 plus 55. 5 plus 5 is 10. 5 plus 5 is 10 plus 1 is 11. So that means 55 times 2 is 110. So I'm going to add another 55. 5 plus 1 is 6. 165. That means 55 times 3 is 165. So let's add 55 more. 5 plus 5 is 10. 6 plus 1 is 7. 7 plus 5, 12. And then 1 plus 1 is 2. So that's 220. Okay, so I'm going to stop there. And if we need to do more, we can. Because all we're doing is adding 55 to each of these numbers, right? To find the multiples. So I'm going to do it in orange. I'm going to do the box method this time. And then that's, oh no, I need to make my box bigger. So 1,700 is 4 digits, so I need 4 boxes. So I'm going to put each number next to the side. All right, and I'm dividing by 55. So 55 can't go into 1 because 55 times a number cannot equal 1. So I'm going to X out the 1 and I'm going to push it to the next box. 1 there. 55 can't go into 17. Okay, too big. 55 is way too big. So I'm going to X out 17 and I'm going to push 17 to the next box. So that's 170. All right, so 55 can go into 170. So I go over to my tic-tac-toe board and I see that I have 165. That's as close as I can get to 170 without going over. So 55 times 3 is 165. So now we're going to put that in there and we're going to subtract. 0 minus 5 would give me a negative number, so we have to borrow. 7 becomes 6 and 0 becomes 10. 10 minus 5 is 5. 6 minus 6 is 0. 1 minus 1 is 0. So that's it. 170 minus 165 is 5. So I'm going to take this 5 right here and I'm going to push it to the next box. All right. 55 can't go into 50. The only way for 55 to go into 50 is by multiplying it times 0. And because I have a box, I have to have a number over every box after the one I've already marked. So this box has to be a 0. 0 times 55 is 0. Subtract, and that means I have 55 left. Okay, so 30 with a remainder of 55. So the question said, how many raspberries does she have left over? So in this case, we don't need this. We just need the remainder. So your answer would be 55. All right. Number 10 says a ketchup company bought 67 shipments of tomatoes. There are 248 tomatoes in each shipment. How many tomatoes did the company buy in all? So how many tomatoes did the company buy? They bought 67 shipments, 248 tomatoes in each. Okay, I want you to solve number 10. Okay, number 15. Let's look at number 15. It says Sweet Things Bakery made 651 donuts and 358 cupcakes on Monday morning. The donuts were placed in boxes that each hold 1 dozen donuts. How many full boxes of donuts were made Monday morning? Oops. So we're looking for full boxes of donuts. So that means the cupcakes is an obsolete answer or information, isn't it? Okay, we just need to know that they made 651 donuts. Okay, and we know that the donuts were placed in boxes that each hold 1 dozen. A dozen is 12. How many full boxes of donuts were made? So I know they made a total of 650. And then they put them into boxes of 12 in each box. So it's a division problem. So we're going to do a tic-tac-toe board for 12. So 12, 24, 36, 48, 60, 72, 84. I'm going to stop there. Okay, counting by 12s. 12 plus 12 is 24. 24 plus 12 is 36. 36 plus 12 is 48. That's all I'm doing to make this tic-tac-toe board. And this tic-tac-toe board helps you answer every one of your division problems. Okay, so I'm going to do it the algorithm way. 650 divided by 12. Okay, 12 cannot go into 6. It's not on that board because 6 is smaller. So 65. 12 goes into 65 5 times. 60 is as close as I can get without going over. So that's 12 times 5. So the 5 goes on top. And I subtract. 5, bring down the 0. 12 can go into 50 4 times. 12 times 4 is 48. And that's as close as I can get. 48. Subtract, and I have 2. So I have 54, remainder 2. So basically what we're looking at is that how many full boxes can we make? 54, because the rest are leftovers. Okay, multiplication and division are going to be on this test, so I want you to just practice. Go back and watch the other videos if necessary, but please study because you're going to be getting your CPA really soon. Good luck, guys.